Welcome to RMM Help. In this session we provide an overview of using the regular requisition work option, which is located in Administration, our work code files and regular requisition work. Regular requisition work is a user-definable option and is used primarily to reduce data entry and improve accuracy when we're logging regularly recurring work in the help desk. During busy times on a help desk, anything we can do to answer and satisfy calls as quickly as possible is extremely beneficial. So let's say that our local knowledge showed that we had about 20 regular work tasks and they represented a significant number of the calls that were logged. You can set these up with as much useful recurring information as possible, which will then automatically be populated in the help desk when a regular work task is selected. Let's look at a common fault that we know that we have, which is our lift fault. And if we go through the data items here, we can see that we've got the description of lift fault, and that will appear in our work details. From drop-down lists we can choose our KPI priority, our work type, and if we had a contractor we could select the contractor's details there. We can enter our estimated time, estimated cost. If we knew that there was a significant risk on this, we could select a risk here. And if this particular regular work task required specialist skills or training, we could actually set up a staff member that would automatically be allocated this work on a job docket or on a mobile device if they were working in the field. So in this case we're going to allocate this lift type work to our supervisor David Bowden. And finally, when looking at this regular work, we can see that we can put any documentation here that might be useful. In this case we've got a lift safety procedure, and if I scroll across, this is shown as being print with job, so that when a hard copy job docket was printed we could print this with it, or in the case of our mobile device, either a smartphone, a PDA or a tablet, that document could be viewed there. So that concludes what we're doing in setting up the regular work. If we go to the administration section and the control file, we've also got a setting in here. If I just scroll down, you can see use this option if you want regular work to be prompted on selecting an asset ID, and we've got a tick box. And basically what this does, it gives you the ability to have some local customization, whether you want, if you don't want this action to take place, then you either don't create the data files or you can switch it on and off. So there's a separate video showing the help desk using regular requisition work, but let's just have a quick look at logging a job so that we can see those data items being populated. So we'll log a call, we'll choose our site of Allerton General Hospital, which building. It's actually in the main building that this has been reported, and on the ground floor. And here we can see that that's the passenger lift that we've got the problem with. We'll select that asset. This is a useful little pop-up which you can set up on the asset detail form to prompt help desk users if there's some action that they need to take. In this case it's informing us of a health and safety document. We'll say OK to that. It's telling us that we've got our risk rating. If you remember, we entered that in our regular work. We'll say yes to that. There's the lift fault, and as you can see, it's estimated time and cost and staff designation of supervisors in there. We'll select that regular work. We don't want to view anything else that's in work in progress for that asset. It may only be PPM work, but it could be prompting us that this is a duplicated call. And at that point, we can save this job and we can say to our caller, thank you for your call. This is your call reference 422-855. And then we can see the amount of detail that's been populated in here, our KPI priority. We've got all our static asset information in here. We've got the owner details, who reported it, and the cost center. Then our job details, which was lift fault. And if I go to work and risk, you can see our risk rating is in there, our work type, day-to-day repairs, and our regular work description or type was lift fault. And finally, you may remember that we allocated this job to our supervisor, David Bowden, and as you can see, that's already been put into our staff and hours section, waiting for us to be able to put time on and time off. So that's a huge amount of information to automatically fill, and I'm sure you'd agree that that saves a huge amount of clerical effort and would improve accuracy. So that concludes the overview of the ResMan regular requisition work option.